Roll call.
Terry Rose.
Here.
Tammy Garner.
Here.
Jenna Dandridge.
Here.
Nastasia Raffiano.
Present.
And Robert Thompson.
Here.
Pledge allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas one state, under God, and one indivisible. You want to pray?
Make the right decisions, provide for our community, that all things go well. Bless us all, everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen.
To approve the regular city council meeting minutes for September the 14th of 2023. And I'll break this down since we have about 4 different ones to go, so we'll do one by one if anybody has any questions on those.
I just have, I guess a suggestion that if someone doesn't vote in favor or oppose, that it's none abstain on the record. Because I saw that when I didn't vote, it was marked as opposed, which that wasn't entirely accurate because I wasn't opposed naturally to the subject, but it was just that I didn't vote on the subject.
So she abstained.
So I would just vote that in addition to in favor or oppose, that would have like a neutral or non-abstain section.
Anyone else?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Terry Rose. Here. Tammy Garner.
Yes.
Jenna Dandridge.
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano.
Yes.
And Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Approve the special city council meeting on September the 26th of 2023, the minutes for that one.
Nobody's gonna make comments, I'll make the motion that we approve those minutes.
Terry Rose.
Yes.
Tammy Garner.
Yes.
Jenna Dandridge.
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano.
In addition to what I said, yes.
And Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Approve bills for September 2023.
Is that the September 26th one? You're referring to?
The bills for
Oh, the
September.
bills. Oh, for September.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They should already have voted.
you'll see there's bills for September and then also
Right, I wasn't
October.
sure what, is it the meeting or
The actual bills.
yes, exactly. Thank you for clarifying.
If there's any questions, I'll make the motion we approve the bills for September.
I second that.
Terry Rose.
Yes.
Tammy Garner.
Yes.
Janet Andrews.
Yes.
Anastasia Raviano.
Yes.
Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Okay, next is approve the bills for October 2023.
Make a motion to approve?
Dell.
Second.
Terry Rose. Tammy Garner.
Yes.
Janet Andrews.
Yes.
Anastasia Raviano.
Yes.
Robert Thompson.
Yes.
The minutes would be open forum. Betty?
Okay, I really didn't want to talk today, but things happen. Okay, my comments are not about the mayor or the city council, and I want that to be clear. If you're a regular at these meetings, you know who I am. If you don't like what I say up here in the public, and you want to tell me, do it in public or even on Facebook. But don't come to my house and scream and cuss at me, not even if I'm having a garage sale. That's about all I have to say about that. I had a lot more I planned on saying. But we all need grace. We all have good and bad in us. Let's feed the good. There's a lot good happening here. Not all of it's on Facebook, but people are coming together to get things done, or at least I've been encouraged by my community. Many of you have gifts and want to serve, but our city is supposed to be a democracy, and this is a cooperation, not a competition. And it's not about getting what you want because of who your friends are. It's about what's best for all of us. Let's find some positive things to do for our community. I'm trying my best to stay positive. Let's do this right. I'm ready to retire and get some rest. And I want to add that I have been asked to run for city council in the past by 2 different business owners. But I felt like they wanted me to speak for them. And I didn't want that. And I don't want that at all in the city. So let's just do this right. Thank you.
Dawn?
I was just curious, you had told that the wall was put up to cut off the kitchen because of the fire marshal saying so. I have the fire report, and every report I've ever read has to have, due to the inspection, they have to write exactly what you have to do. There's nothing in there that says the wall needed to go up. This building was built in 1992 and was donated July 2nd of the same year to the citizens of East Tawakoni for a civic center. How it got changed to City Hall because the grant was specifically said for the citizens. It wasn't for City Hall. And to me, you cut that wall down, you put that wall up to cut down the square footage to make sure you didn't get enough citizens in here. Because you've been fighting to keep us out. That's why all the reserve signs are on the chairs. So, nothing to say? No reason why you built the wall?
I'm not commenting right now.
Of course you're not.
And then David?
No, I got nothing. I don't know why you won't answer the man's questions. The man asked you a question directly. Why won't you answer the question?
Because she's not allowed to speak in open forum.
It's not on the agenda.
She can't speak in open
Yeah,
forum.
let's put it on the agenda then. We've asked several times to have stuff put on the agenda and it never seems to show up on there. Can the council request that it goes on the agenda? I want to know exactly what we spent because of the fake capacity management issue that the mayor created. It cost us probably thousands and thousands of dollars to fix all this stuff because the fire marshal rained down on us because they didn't appreciate the lies and misrepresentation of Rains County and all that. So let's put it on the agenda, please, council, that we get to see an itemized list of everything that little deal cost us, okay? Thank you, I'm done.
Department reports, water department.
We pumped 4,917 gallons, we sold 390,000, had a water loss of a little over 800,000. 200,000 plus was used for flushing. We had 18 water connects, 18 disconnects for non-payment, 18 connects, 11 disconnects, and those were for non-payment. 13 rereads, no flushing requests, 4 line locates, no meter change outs. We had 5 main breaks last month. Let's see, and that eat up a bunch of water when that happens. Maintenance had 31 generated work orders. Lift stations working and non-working, it still varies right now. We had to have 2 of them pumped out because of electricity and stuff blowing up that wasn't supposed to blow up. All the water towers were good last month. We made 4 taps, a sewer tap. And as far as the lift stations go, these papers.
I don't mean to interrupt you, and thank you so much for your service, but I'm just wondering between the amount that is pumped in service, I forget those numbers, but it seems like there's like a gap between there, so I was just wondering like those gallons, where do those go? I'm just not really familiar with.
Okay, when you have a main break, there's certain procedures you have to take to get that main break shut down. And we can start turning off valves, and we can have boiled water notices out the rear end, okay? I prefer not to do that. We open fire hydrants, we cut valves down, but we don't have any boiled water notices. So we lose water that way. If the tower, I think last month the tower overflowed, not last month, month before last. Electricity, lightning hit the electricity, shorted something out, and we lost some water that way. Leaks, we've got a couple minor leaks in town. And when I say minor, I mean very minor. And, you know, you lose water. We've probably got meters in town that aren't working right. And you know, there's several factors involved when you go to talking water loss. Flushing, we flush $200,000 or 200,000 gallons a month. That is, to me, is low. But that's what's been stayed with forever. And the only way to know exactly how much you flush a month is to put a meter every time you flush, and that'll tell you your gallons. And then you're talking major time consumption. There's formulas you can go by that'll hit you close. They're not perfect. Okay? If you got any more questions, just come ask me. I'm an open book, please.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Also got us pulling water out of hydrants from time to time. Did you also got us pulling water
Yeah,
out
they
of
pull water
hydrants from time to time?
And what water they pull? They pull, there's no question.
Yeah.
None at all.
And sold doesn't include what's in the lines and what's in the towers.
So, anyways, as far as the lift stations, let's see, Briggs, all the electrical work's done. We're waiting on parts for the seals and the pump arm to make it work. Same way with Club Circle. Club Circle, which is the mayor's lift station, run perfect for 2 weeks with both pumps. And then one pump hasn't run in so long, it finally got lubricated, finally got everything it needed. It watered out, shock and bearings and all. So, Old Mill, and, I'm sorry, not Old Mill, but, Briggs and the mayor's lift station, which is Club Circle, should have new arms, seals, and everything in them put in next week.
Thank you for that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And that's about roughly 9,000, just to do those two. Old Mill, the one down at the very bottom of the hill by the lake, all the electrical's done in it. That pump will not do nothing. So after they get done with those two, then we'll move on down to that pump, and that's probably another $7,000 right there. Let's see, Little Oaks, the one that's way back over there that feeds the manhole back here, it has, all the electrical's been done, both pumps run. There is what you call a standpipe that goes down and sucks everything up, puts it through the pump, and sends it on down the way. That standpipe has a crack in it somewhere. It's busted, it'll only suck so much, and then it loses its pressure again. So to fix that one, we are going to have to take part of the roof off, get back there with a smaller tractor, and just start raising it up, tying it off, and replacing it. It's a pretty labor-intensive operation right there. Garrett's running fine right now. Let's see, Center needs some electrical work. The one over there in Blue Heron off of Egret, it needs an electric motor, it needs an electric pump. And out of all the pumps and motors in the electrical that's been done, we've replaced 3 motors. The 3 that we took out, they're in Greenville right now being rebuilt for spares. Those will be $1,200 to $1,800 a piece to be rebuilt. And so far I'm gonna say we're probably somewhere as close to 20,000 in this. Give or take, just because I ain't got all the bills in yet and got them all added up. But, you know, we're making progress on it. Things are being done. We've had people out sick the last 2 weeks. And we brought in some contract labor to help us. And, you know, doing all we do right now.
Appreciate your service, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Police Department,
For the month of September, we had 20 calls for a total of 128. 1 assessed other agency, 10 civil matters, 1 death investigation, 1 disturbance, 1 fire, 1 information, 1 suspicious circumstance, 1 traffic control, 2 traffic hazards, 1 welfare concern, 43 traffic stops, 1 arrest made, 18 warrants cleared, 60 secure checks by request, 55,244 vehicles entered our city limits between 9/12 and 10/11 of 23. For the month of October, we had 16 calls for a total of 144, 1 animal bite, 2 assist other agency, 1 dog at large, 1 disturbance, 1 fire, 3 med calls, 2 motor assist, 1 stolen vehicle recovered, 1 suspicious circumstance, 1 suspicious attempt of theft, and 2 suspicious persons, 81 traffic stops. 5 arrests were made, 12 monthly warrants were cleared, 98 secure checks by request, 48,559 vehicles entered the city limits between 10/15 and 11/13 of 23.
Mr. Chief. Fire Department,
We had 8 medical, 2 structure fires, 1 MVA, 1 alarm, total of 12 calls. I also want to thank Cindy Jenkins for getting the FEC out to re-rope the City Hall pole and the fire department and police department for hanging all the flags.
EDC,
I do not have our financial report, and so I'll do a roll-up of September and October, November in the December city council meeting.
gotcha.
Sorry. We are discussing and are planning a solar eclipse event on April the 8th. We are considering doing it on the bridge, but we have not voted on that yet. So the EDC will be meeting on December 5th. No, that's not right. Yeah. And at our next meeting, we will vote on that to see if we want to do it on the bridge or just on the city property where the library is. If it's going to be on the bridge, then I have to notify TxDOT. We have to get permission to do that. I have to coordinate that with the police department, with Rick. He has to coordinate with West Tawakoni. We have to do the cones and the whole thing. So I'll have a better understanding of that after the EDC votes. We are not going to do the spring fling this year because of the solar eclipse event. We may be adding some of the events we had at the spring fling into the solar eclipse. But it's on a Monday, so that makes a difference. I talked with Exit Realty, who has been hired to lease out the old Tawakoni grocery store, and ask him if he and Kathy Hobbs, who I think runs that Exit Realty, if they could attend I asked for the December meeting, they said they could, so the January meeting, they're coming. And we're going to talk about what kind of businesses do we really want in East Tawakoni, and what kind of businesses do we not want in East Tawakoni. And they're really excited about partnering with us and helping us to have a better understanding, giving them an understanding so they can target those kind of people. And so anyway, that's what we're gonna do with them. And that's also was actually part of our strategic plan, was to start meeting with real estate companies and letting them know about a managed approach to our growth and how we want to do that in conjunction with the city. The new owner of TJ's may be requesting some incentive money, and so be happy to talk with him and see what we can do for him, to help him along. TJ's became a total gut job. And so I think that was a little more than he had anticipated. So I'll probably talk to him and then present it to the EDC. We just need to get a better idea of what it is he needs and, what would be the best use of the EDC money. And then the last thing is, just a reminder that I really would like to see us have our workshop with the city council sometime after the first of the year, so we can get moving on the bylaws and the articles of incorporation. And that's it, thank you.
Thank you, Regina.
Thank you, ma'am.
Planning and zoning?
We don't have anything.
You do. You just wanna wait. Said, well, you do, you just wanna wait till we go over it.
Well, I mean, it's just not our turn.
Okay.
Or is it? Well, our report is that we had 2 different properties request for zoning change. And we've made a recommendation on both of them, and then it's up to the council to make a final decision.
Okay. Thank you both. Spirit?
Yes. December 1st, we're having a chili cook-off and the tree lighting at the library, starting at 5 p.m. If anyone wants to enter their chili in the cook-off, there's going to be prizes for it, and for the best. And I'm not sure if we have judges or not. If you've been asked, please step up.
Rick, the police station and the fire department, did you see my text on that about judging for the
Chili cook-off.
chili cook-off on December 1st, Friday, December 1st?
I have it, but I'm sure we can.
I need to enter that.
Two people would
We
be
just
great,
need it.
maybe you and someone else.
I
And
could.
then Rick's going to also provide some. Rick's going to coordinate the support from the police department.
Before I forget, I got that trap in the van.
Heartburn right there.
Remind me.
Okay. And then the following morning, on December 2nd, Saturday, the fire department, with support of the Spirit, will be putting on a pancake and Santa breakfast that morning at the fire department. And that'll be from 8 to 10 a.m., right?
Actually, if there's still somebody there after 10 a.m., we're not gonna film, we're not gonna film.
You're not gonna
Because
out.
there was two
We'll
different
toss
time
some
set,
Yeah.
and like I told her, we'll just compromise, we'll go from, like I said, if there's still somebody there, we won't run them out.
Okay,
What date is that?
that will be
The second.
Second.
Saturday,
Saturday,
December 2nd,
And the Spirit
and then,
Fire Department are joining together to do
yes,
it.
yes, and, and then during that time, or right after the kids have breakfast, we're hoping they'll go to the library and decorate their bikes. We got a lot of comments about how cute it was when the kids decorated their bike for our July parade.
Yeah.
And then the parade will start at 11 o'clock at the city park right here, and we'll be lining up at 10:45 a.m. I think that's it.
The bake sale was a huge success today.
The bake sale tonight, we sold out early, it was a huge success. The, last month's Halloween festival at the fire station was really good, everyone enjoyed that. And the flags, as mentioned earlier, are finally, we made it the Spirit made it happen, and we got the flags, the poles, hardware donated through several people, and then several others helped get them planted for the holiday. And we'll put them back up again in May.
They look great.
Oh, and Cindy wanted to say something. I don't know.
Cindy? Oh, she's down here. She's hiding down
Oh,
there.
okay.
No, I'm not hiding.
She's,
I just wanted to let everybody know that we did purchase security cameras for the police department. They were presented to them a week ago Saturday, or I think it was. So, I think they've had a couple of attempts of theft and maybe one theft. So I think it was a really good idea that the Spirit did donate those to them.
thank you, Spirit.
We're just a great group
Great
of
job.
people.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my card.
Okay,
Are you done?
yeah, I'm
All right.
finished.
Library, she's sitting in the corner back there.
For mid-September through mid-October, there were 36 volunteer hours with 65 visitors. Our printer is up and running and has been used by the community. The community center portion of the library has been used by the Spirit of East Tawakoni monthly meeting. It was also used as a collection site for the coat drive, for which we had 7 more volunteers. Coat drive volunteer hours were 38, and visitors to the coat distribution were 35 individuals, whether it be adult or children, because we had both coats and blankets, gloves, we had everything, just about. So 35 people did receive benefits, and the additional coats and jackets were donated to a local school. I don't know the exact entity, but everything got donated to people in need, individuals in need. The requests last month are that the hot water in the bathroom has never actually worked. I didn't know that the unit got replaced. I just assumed it was the old one, but even the new unit has never worked. The air conditioner was replaced approximately a year ago, and I am unaware of the filters ever being changed. Oh, thank you. You
We
did
went up
get
there
them.
to try to find them. We've been up there twice,
Oh,
and we ain't found them yet. They're in there.
oh, okay,
We'll find them. We just don't, we ain't found them yet.
okay,
I don't know
cool.
what I did.
I mean, because my only concern is that the last unit failed after only like 4 years of use. And I just don't want that to happen again. The same possibly could be said that the dehumidifier, we need to find the filters that would go with the dehumidifier and clear them. I have a portable one at home, and you have to clean it like once a month. So it seems like that might be important, or at least worth checking out. For the month of mid-October, specifically October 18th through November 22nd, there have been more activities, so therefore the visitors are 122. Only like 82 are library, but it is in fact a library and community center. Volunteer hours have been quite heavy at 84 volunteer hours to do all the things that we've been doing. Those were by 14 individuals. The activities that have occurred, whether it be library or community center, twice a week craft activities for children and adults, once a week gaming day, the Spirit of East Tawakoni monthly planning meeting. HL and Larry built shelves for the storage shed, which is actually critical to what we're doing right now, because I just left there. What's happening right now, there's been a Thanksgiving meal drive organized by myself, Susan Montalvo, and Regina Chandler, to provide full, everything included Thanksgiving meals. And the only other thing we added was a children's food section, because there is no school this week. So with that being said, 21 full meals have been distributed, benefiting approximately 50 to 60 adults and or children. The food pickup, because we're in that mode right now, continues tomorrow, November 22nd, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. In addition, we've received 2 monetary donations. One from a community member who is not actually a community member yet, but he's moving here as soon as his other house closes. And I forgot his last name, but I believe his first name is Seth. He did a $50 donation, which we have already used to fill in the blanks for anything missing. And then our very own Jeff from the water department donated $100 that we are going to use tomorrow morning to supplement, the peaks and valleys of the items that we are low on. And that's gonna make a huge difference for us to be able to continue to provide complete boxes. And people, just for information, people actually walk through the building and they select what they're getting. And so, the needs of the library that I have for this month are a hardwire electrical light, or that might be worded wrong for the flag.
It's already being done for
We're
you.
working on that too.
Yep.
And I do want to thank you for that, because the light that's on it is a little bit better than what you would normally find. It's $55, but it is also removable, and it already has been removed once. So we've had to buy it a second time. And so I was just hoping to avoid the third. And then the filters is taken care of. And then we just discovered that in addition, we already knew that the front electrical outlet will not hold
Working on that too.
toilets and the tree. But what we didn't know until this last week is that the back electrical outlet spark. HL would have more information about that, but he was not able to use the back plug for the shelves that he built in the shed. We just opened the door and plugged in elsewhere, but that is a significant electrical concern because it like sparked or whatever. And then the only other thing that I skipped accidentally in last month is that we did have a significant power outage from I think a windstorm, where we didn't have power for 3 or 4 or 5 hours. And it happened to be a library day. So the emergency light over the back door does in fact turn on. But the power system, I now realize, requires somebody to know how to start it up. And there are instructions. I don't know if that base has been covered yet, that somebody has maybe practiced turning it on, so that if we ever did have a significant weather event and the power went out, we would be able to turn on our emergency lights. Because it was humming, but the batteries on it expire in terms of warranty at 5 years. And I'm told we're around 4.5. So I think that if we wanted to test the system, we would want to do that now before the battery's warranty goes out. Anyway, the instructions are on the unit in the closet. And the unit does stay on in a power outage. We just need to turn it on and see if it actually works.
I think Jeff, the electrician, actually looked at that, but I'll double check with him. I believe he did look at that for you, so I'll double check with him.
And I think that it would be beneficial for whoever looks at it to make it work, to possibly have possibly myself, or I believe Susan. I used to know a Susan Rose. I always call you Susan. Terry, or whoever, and possibly even HL. We tend to be the 3 people that cover the library when there's an emergency need. And I wouldn't have a clue in the world how to turn on the power if we had failure. So I know HL and myself have both said that we would gladly learn how.
It should automatically
We
go
just-
on.
Yeah, it
should.
For an emergency shelter, it is supposed to automatically go on.
The instructions say you have to turn it on. The battery always runs, and I have the instruction papers still in there on how to turn it on. But being that I'm not knowledgeable that way, I don't want to do it alone.
Yeah, we'll get Jeff to look at it, the electrician to look
I
at
come
it.
on automatically at my.
Yeah, I was thinking, cause that's
If
what I
power
thought.
goes out, they come on automatic.
Cause he's blind.
They should.
The battery's backing up.
Battery backup, they should
According to the instructions, you have to turn it on. According to the instructions, but that's
Is there a red
why.
light on it right now?
When the power was out, it was still humming, and it had a light on it. I don't remember what color it was, if it was red or green or what, but it physically is still charged when the power is out. I know that part. But then I was like, I wonder why it didn't turn on, so I looked at the instructions, and there are instructions on how to turn it on. I'm like,
Just
oh.
needs to update the lights, what it needs.
Huh.
It's automatic.
Yeah, it should be
I just
automatic.
want to point out that when we had our power outage, we had no lights other than the emergency exit door light. And we only have one that has emergency lighting on it. The other one just says exit.
Yeah, you
But
want to make
there
sure
is-
everything's working
right?
right. That makes sense. You want to make sure everything working correctly. Yeah.
Well, we live in a tornado prone
Exactly.
area.
Exactly.
It could happen.
I'll get Jeff to look at it for you.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Next on the agenda was the auditor was supposed to speak to us tonight. He has requested another month to work on it, so he will not be meeting with us until December. He called this afternoon and asked, so we've moved him to December now. So our next thing would be discuss, take action to approve or deny the zoning committee members. And as you see, David Dennehy, Robin, and Cindy Jenkins have all provided us with bios. And they're all sitting in front of us. Did I say Jenny? I wasn't even looking. Why'd I do that? Bro, you have 3 last names, and I think I just combined everything into one. Does anybody have any questions for the planning and zoning crew that are here in front of us?
Is this on?
Keep going.
Oh, it's further.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's not the I guess the EDC is there.
Yeah.
Under number 3.
Oh, next. Okay.
It's right there, Vintage Shores. I think you're a great bunch.
So, you said planning and zoning?
Yes.
Where Can they just introduce themselves? If they don't mind. Just a,
I'm Cindy Jennings.
just a
Robin
little about-
McPeters.
David, didn't he?
Just a little about your background and your interest in being in this position would be greatly.
And just so you know, they've been in this position for years. The reason we're doing this now is because it's never been done. Just as you'll see, the PD has never been done. We were supposed to do this years ago. So that, I'm just letting you know why, kind of the
No, I
backstory.
appreciate that. It's my first year in this position too, and that's just an opportunity to get introduced to y'all and understand.
Go ahead.
Just getting an introduction to, you know, my first year in this position, and just introduction to you and your role in this and your intentions in this position.
You know, we were all asked to volunteer for this work. And I have extensive background in commercial construction, knowledge about zoning, planning, and building. And we've been doing this now for 3 or 4 years.
15, 14 or 15.
So, you know, we're just trying to help the community.
My taxes were up.
Great.
Ditto. Pretty much ditto on my side.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure our community is taken care of.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
So the only comment I have is there is a fourth member, and I tried to get a hold of him a couple times, haven't been able to. Have you been able to talk to Moses at all?
He wants to resign.
Tell him no.
I did. He does, he's got a lot on his plate, a family member being ill and stuff, and, he does want to resign, but he said that if we had any pressing issues, that he would show up to a meeting until we could find a replacement for it.
I thought we had talked to someone.
We've got one individual that's a possible recruit,
We also
Ken-
need one more.
Ken Reed.
Ken Reed. Yep.
He'd be good.
Yeah.
And so we need to look for another.
And the only other thing, I think the ordinance requires the members to be on alternating approvals. So we need to have 2 of them for 2 years and 1 of them for 1 year, and then reapprove that. And the new member, or whoever, again, so that way, I think it just set up so there's consistency across the planning and zoning, so not everybody drops off all at once.
On that notion, is there someone that just dropped off this last year, and do we know the reason for, I'm just curious, just.
No, it's hard to get anybody to fill committees, as y'all will know, you know, city council members or any of the committees that you have here in the community, especially a small community. It's hard to get them it's hard to get the positions filled, and that's why we've been here this long.
Isn't there allowed to be up to 5?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
I think so too, yeah. So they're supposed to be up to 5, and we only had 4 recently, so.
Yes. We're just trying to do our part. If anybody's interested, let us know.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be my turn to drop off. No, I'm teasing, I think so.
So do y'all have a preference on who gets approved for 2 years and who gets approved for 1? Typical one?
Not really, just pick them.
Okay.
It matters not to me.
Thank you so much.
So, if nobody else has any questions, I'll make the motion that we approve them for continuing on the planning and zoning. And
I second that.
since Robin's sitting in the middle, I suggest she be the one get approved for 1 year and have to get reapproved next year.
Sounds good to me. And just to let you know, Nastasia, we filled out bios, which Tammy has got.
Yeah.
They're
Give me her pass.
So that'll tell you a little bit about us.
Thank you, Lauren.
I have a motion from Robert and a second from Nastasia.
Yes.
Terry Rose.
Yes.
Kimmy Garner.
Yes.
Janet Andridge.
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano. Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Next is discuss and take action to approve or deny the EDC members. We'll start out with Sheila first, as, everybody should know by now, that Rob and Terry cannot vote on this. So y'all have any questions for Sheila or anything like that?
I just have, is that, I was just curious, just to get a better understanding of you, so, we know that when we voted as a city council about the billboards and, the role of business versus community, we know we're coherent, and that's understandable, but just about your role and what your decision would be in that stakes and why?
Billboards, you're talking about the one that was,
That we voted on.
That would have been planning and zoning.
Okay.
yeah,
So-
the only thing we'd have to, I mean, we're looking at putting the signs at the entrances of the city. That's something we want to accomplish, but billboards are kind of out of their realm.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any other questions for Sheila?
So this is just so I have a good understanding about, it's an unopposed like role basically, right?
Yep, and it's a volunteer role.
Yeah, that's great, yeah. Thank you for your service.
I make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Tammy Warner,
Yes.
Jenna Dandridge,
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano.
Yes.
Awesome. So next we have Heather and Stephen. They are not here with us today, but again, Terry cannot vote, but everybody else can. Does anybody have any questions about these two individuals that Regina might be able to answer? Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you.
No, I'm sorry, what role did you specify this was?
So this one is the same thing, it's sealed to EDC.
Yeah.
So it's the two, the Heather and Stephen, they both have joined the EDC. And they were replacing two individuals that have left and resigned.
And I will say, just to help the council, since they're not here, both of them are new to the community, I mean, very new, and very eager to assimilate into the community, support the community. They have very good ideas. Heather works for corporate JCPenney as a branding person and also does their website. She also has a side business where she does promotional work, and so she's a very good asset for the EDC as far as promotional work, flyers, website work, things like that. Stephen Myers is still working, however, he has very good ideas about things out in the future and things that the community might do. I just interviewed him, and he sent me a text and said, I think we should have a solar eclipse event and take advantage of that for the city and all of the surrounding areas. So they're really good idea people. I think they're gonna be great assets to the EDC, and I look forward to some of their thoughts and ideas.
I appreciate that insight on their bio. So do they not live local to?
They do.
They do?
Stephen Myers lives, sorry, I can't even see you, Sachi.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stephen Myers does not live within the city of East Tawakoni, however, he lives right down the road, which is considered Rains County. The Texas Development Act of 1979 was revised so that small cities under 20,000 people can have members of the EDC that are part of the extra jurisdictional areas that we have. as well as within Rains County. So we could have people from Emory or other, and we can also have people who are adjoined to us that are within 10 miles of our borders, so.
I'm just curious, how he got like acquainted, so I know, Tyler lived within, and I guess he resigned, or is not
Tyler
interested?
Van yes, he was one of our members, and, he is a regional director for Aldi, so he
Yeah, I know
travels
he's
a lot,
busy.
he's
Yeah.
real busy,
Yeah.
so.
But I was
he
just wondering
finally
how the association, I'm just trying to get an idea of like, you know.
So what she's talking about, Regina, is that basically it's just a spot that they put them in, so their places came up, and basically they just, Regina assigned them to a slot, basically, kind of is what you did, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean,
So is it like you knew him and you felt like
I
it was
did
a
not know
good
him
place?
at all,
Okay.
but I interviewed him.
Okay,
I sent out a message on Facebook and on Nextdoor
okay,
telling them that EDC had 2 openings, and I interviewed people for those 2 openings.
okay.
Stephen Myers and Heather Douglas were the ones that I chose, and then the EDC voted on them. Did we vote on them? Well,
Yes.
anyway,
Yes, y'all did.
we did vote on them.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I
Thank
did
you.
You were on vacation, I was there for that, yes, y'all did, okay.
The EDC voted on them because I would not make that decision unilaterally. You know, it requires all of the EDC to agree that those 2 people would be assets to the EDC. So the next step then was to bring it forward to the council and the council vote on them.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Regina.
Thank you for asking questions.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Anybody else have any other questions?
I make a motion to accept the additional 2.
So I just have
Jen, a
one
second.
other question. So they saw that he was a viable asset, and then so it's on to the mayor to bring them on. Is that, or no?
City
Just
council.
City council.
The city council,
Okay.
Has to do
the
it.
EDC reports to the city council.
Okay.
So we come to you for those approvals for those people.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
You had a second by Jana.
Amy Garner,
Yes.
Jana Dandridge,
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano,
Yes.
Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Next is discuss and take action to increase the sewer rate that will be started in January of 2024. As y'all will see here, we've kind of put some numbers together on the rates and stuff. I think that when we looked at this has not been done since 2000, this one was 16 on this one.
Okay, I agree, you got a bunch of numbers there, but
I know.
I don't know what they mean, so can somebody explain them, what they mean?
Oh, come
It's
on.
based on 424 customers, the average gallons of water, and that's what sewage is based on. It's based on, it's not actually metered, it's gone by the gallons of water used per that household. And it's based on only 424 customers, cause that's the number of customers inside the city or with sewer.
Okay,
We're figuring,
so that's a monthly average of gallons of water? Okay.
and then sewer also caps at, I believe it's 10,000 gallons.
It caps at 10,000 gallons?
Yeah, so if you use 20,000 gallons of water, you're only charged sewer for 10.
No, okay.
So out of a population of over 1,000, we only have 400-ish sewer.
You have 424 households.
So those other 1,000 persons of population aren't within a household Or they,
They are within the household. You could have 4 people living in a household, but you
Right,
still only
so-
have one that's using
She
sewer.
said
Okay,
customers,
so
she
we
meant
only
taps, there's
we only have
427 taps.
400 taps of sewer. Like, average, 424 taps of sewer
Mhm.
within, okay.
Okay, so what's the 2,000?
The first number, the 5,340.25, that's based on an increase of 25 cents to the sewage per
Okay.
3,000 gallons.
All right, you got ahead of me there. So the third line down, you say 2,000 times the 424?
2,000 gallons, that's our
They
minimum.
used to put all the attachments in.
Okay.
Really? How many pages is that attachment that y'all are looking at?
This one.
One page? They used to put those in the minutes so that the citizens could read them. Why do we stop doing that?
I could do that a long time ago.
I've never seen that done before, so when do they do
Like I
that?
say, I've been on
If
the
there's
council.
anything that's referenced by the city council, there's normally a page in the agenda for everybody to see. If you're gonna raise the rates, I kinda like to see the numbers myself.
They stopped doing that, and then they set it to where only Chuck could get them. It's been a long time ago.
Because I've been on the council for 2.5 years and I've never seen
It
it.
was, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's been a long,
It's
I'm
when Johnny
old,
was
I've been
on.
here 20 years. That's the way we used to do it.
Yeah.
But I agree, anything that's on the council, I feel like should be accessible to the.
Are y'all gonna mention the rate? When y'all get to the end of the
So
sheet?
we're going
We're
down,
working-
we're
we're
working
working
down
down
the
to
rate
it.
right now, so
Put it
yeah,
in.
we're working down the
Put it
sheet,
in.
so yes. And I'll try to get it back to where we have it on the TV again too, that'll help you out a little bit. The TV's acting weird, so I'll get that back up there so that way everybody can see what we're looking at also.
Okay, so we got the average monthly gallons, the minimum monthly gallons, and then you subtract those two and you come up with another number that's gallons per month, I presume.
The 21,
Yeah.
161, is that?
You got 21,361,070. So what's that number tell us?
That's the total gallons, the 22,209 is the total gallons of sewage
Right,
minus the 848, which is the minimum of 2,000 gallons. This is based off of minimum usage. And that's what the 848,000 would be.
okay.
But the minimum and what it is, like, what does that equate to the people? What does that mean to the people?
We're figuring it at a quarter per 2,000 gallons, which caps at 10. And then we're figuring $1 on the, minimum charge.
So what is the total increase gonna be?
For 0 to 2,000 gallons will be $1. The, 25 cents for every 2,000 gallons over that. Up to 10,000. That's gonna give you, increase by the 25,000, about 5,340.25 per year. That will fluctuate depending on usage. And then for the, $1 times 424 customers is gonna give you, $5,088. All total, you're looking per year of about a 10,428.25 use, increase to the water sewer budget.
To the city.
Across the board, 25 down. That won't cover it.
$10,000.
Why are you capping it at 10,000 gallons?
That's just the way it's
TCEQ.
always been. We've never charged as many gallons in sewage as we've charged in water.
All the cities I've ever been in involved with, they don't have a cap. If you run 1,000,000 gallons a day, you're charged for 1,000,000 gallons.
I don't know,
Because
it
of
was
the
like that
But it
long
shouldn't be
before
that
I
way
came.
though, cause you're gonna, if you're
Why
using that much water, you're watering your yard with it, or you're filling a pool, you're not using that in your house, that's too much.
All the cities that have it have 2 meters, one for the yard, one for the house.
Well, that's interesting.
So is that 10,000 divided by the 428, and it equals out to what, like $1 to $3 more a month?
It's $1 per household, basically. Everybody gets the minimum charge of 2,000 gallons of water. Everything over that is 25 cents per 2,000 gallons. So if you're using 6,000 gallons of water, your water bill's gonna go up about $1.50.
Do we know what the average is, the
I don't
household?
know if I can afford that.
That varies widely. We have a large population that only uses the minimum charge.
23.
Just depends on
So that'd be
their age, basically.
$2 a month. That's
Like
what
the
we're
$1
averaging.
that's the minimum charge?
Depends on if you're inside or outside the city. Inside, I believe, water, sewer, garbage, everything is, I believe, 73 and some change.
73.
Yep.
Oh, that double the garbage.
And so we're estimating this increase will bring in roughly how much?
5,088 a year.
Okay.
No.
10,000. Well, that's with the extras.
Around 10,428 a year.
And you're hoping that that'll help like with the pump maintenance and this and that?
Yeah, it's just been so long since it's increased. Their budget needs to be increased. It costs more to fix the sewer lines and things now.
And how long did you say it's been since it's been increased?
2016.
Pipes up, electricity's up, fittings are up. We used to pay $20 for a collar. You got a piece of pipe, put it back together. Those collars today, $36 a piece. So, you know,
Build back better.
Trust me, I feel it.
So we know everything is increasing within time. I mean, that's
We've tried to do just kind of a bare minimum
I think that's kind of like what
because
this
times
is
are hard.
based off. It is just like things are increasing, so you have to pay additional for everything. The question is how much we want to pay in addition and how much we're willing to pay. So that's up to us as a council, is we're gonna agree on it or we won't, so. That's kind of just where it is.
Does any other, the council members have any other questions about that wonderful map? Probably just had.
That explains what all the numbers are. I understand it now.
Come on, Rob.
we all know all the numbers, man.
Yeah. That's why when I saw it, I was like, okay.
I have
I'm good with numbers, but you gotta tell me what they're for.
Motion by Terry, I need a second.
I'll second it. What did she motion?
To accept.
Okay, just check.
So
Accept the
before
numbers.
we vote on it, what is the actual increase like on the sewer?
It would be
What percentage increase are we going with?
it would be $1 per bill,
So-
per household. It would just be an additional $1.
Essentially average per household.
Would be
$2
$1.
would be $1. $2 if we use your calculator.
Terry Rose,
Yes.
Kimmy Garner, Janet Andridge,
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano,
Yes.
and Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Discuss and take action to choose the nominating of Rains County Appraisal District Board Director. I know we tabled this before. Tammy, you had a discussion with Rains County about this.
This
What
is
issue?
the original, is the correct persons that are currently on the board. Well, we had some doubt before. I talked to the appraisal, Sheila, and she said, no, that's the correct ones. Or we can nominate somebody from our community, but this is our representation on the board.
So basically, there's no one here present that is willing, there's no
Right.
one here present.
Right.
And there's no one to fill the vice chairman.
Used to be Gary before he died.
Because personally, I can't vote on this because I'm a business real estate major and like, I mean, I'm from California and I just see coming here, appraisal. I mean, I don't wanna say too much, but I just see a lot of things that really could be wrong. So I could not vote without someone here explaining themselves on the board of appraisal and voting for them to be essentially chairman and representing our city, our district, our community, county. I mean, it's major, it's huge. Like this is a major cornerstone of our community and what it represents. And like, I mean, I'm not saying there's corruption, but there is major opportunity for corruption. And from what I see is like, I cannot vote to approve someone that's not here that cannot answer questions.
Is there any way to get at a meeting to have somebody come to represent?
They have to have the, we've put it off so long, they have to have these. We have to make a nominee tonight, and we have to vote in December, or it could throw us into an election
Well,
without
anyone that wants to be
representation.
a nominee, I feel like should be here to represent like what they're standing for. That's just what I feel, you know.
They don't, Ms. Asha, they don't set the rates. That person just, what they do is when somebody complains about their tax rate and they do a protest, then they go before this board. So
Is
it's,
that someone setting an appraisal for the value of their home?
they're not, they don't set the appraisal. They don't set the appraisal,
But I'm
they
just
only
saying
handle.
within that, they do, within this jurisdiction, that's what they do, appraisal, whatever.
No,
title
the
you
appraisal
wanna get
district
to.
does that. These people only sit on the board to handle
They
the
sit on board,
protests.
But I mean, I'm just saying, there's people upon people. We are a community, so when you have people upon people, we are a community of people upon people. You're appointing people to represent what your value is. People that are setting the tax rate for these people, that their home was only worth $60,000, and now you're saying they're worth whatever amount, and their tax rate goes through the roof. They can't afford their tax rate. This is something extreme, and everything what you're saying, like we're not supported about these people or that people. We are the people, and we appoint these people. That's why we're here. We're voting on this, and that's why it's important. It's important because we are the foundation of supporting these people that represent us. So we need to represent the people that are going to stand for truth and justice when it comes to the appraisal of our properties. And like, because when you're just saying, oh, our properties are worth $10,000 and then they're worth $1 million because someone says they are, it's people can't pay taxes on that. It becomes a people's of livelihood. You know, it's important, and so I know you're saying like
Said person do that?
Huh?
Does the said person do it?
No. What do you mean?
No, the Rains County Appraisal District sets the rates, and it only
Assess
goes before the board if
assess
somebody
the
files a
rates of
protest.
what you're
But if
paying
they
for your
protest, someone has to
property.
be there to say,
I think
yes,
you
it
just
goes
need
or
to-
it's
Exactly, so that
That's what
person,
that does.
yes.
I'm with her.
But I'm saying that the appraisers do. So when you're saying these are the appraisals,
That's not what this is.
This is not for the appraisal.
It's not that, it's not that at
It's
all.
not for
The
the appraisal,
board
but it's for the
appraise-
board to agree or disagree
agrees
on
or
what's gonna
disagree
happen.
on what's gonna
I
happen.
had to go before the
Exactly.
board, and that board
Exactly.
sits there and
This is
tells you
all
what you're
about
gonna do or
chain
not
of
gonna do.
command, and we are the foundation of our chain.
Thank you.
And that's what you need to understand. We are the foundation. So if you don't understand what is happening when it gets to those upper levels, and they're like, yeah, now you know you owe us $10,000. And you're like, what? I owe $10,000 for what? And you're like, yeah, you live on our land and you're in our county. Yeah, you owe us $10,000. But you don't understand it. That's why we're here as a people, so you understand. This is going through the chain of command, and that's why I'm here to help you understand. this chain of command.
Does anybody else on the council have any concerns or anything like that about this?
So there's only 4 people on the board right now?
I thought Ken said just last night at our meeting, at the ESD meeting, that there were 5 people. He only named those names and then went blank, so I'm not really sure now.
If it's this important, that one of those 5 people should be here, I would think.
Why didn't this, if we had to get this done now, why is it just now coming up?
It hasn't, we tabled it one meeting, the next meeting we didn't have it because I didn't have a quorum. And now we're to this, down to the wire because of that.
Table it and have another special meeting next week.
Did the person who was it the guy who rode on the golf cart with the flowers in his, because
No, that's.
I think there was I thought one of the appraisers that were
No.
up there in Emory lived in our neighborhood.
But why aren't they here today then?
Gary Reeves used to represent our city.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He had a black
He's done
golf
since he
cart.
left.
You
So did,
guys run in with him.
Yeah, he was just on
Okay.
So did Mayor Harmon, and they
So
both passed
the-
away.
Yeah.
The person that we elect, they sit on the board, so when one of us goes to complain to the board about our property taxes, they say, yes, we'll lower them, or yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep them, whatever we decided.
Yeah,
So that,
it is important, isn't it?
okay.
Very important. The other question I had is, are we just nominating one person? Do we nominate
And like,
all of them? I mean, what?
Like, and no one's here, so what are we even nominating? We don't know anybody.
You can do it.
I don't know if you remember last year when we did this, Harold had us divide the votes and we give so many votes to each person.
But nobody's even here. To represent themselves.
So
I'm
we can
just saying.
vote, put all our votes towards one person, or split them and put them towards multiple?
Yes.
Thank you.
So can we table this, cause no one's here?
They're never here.
They're not gonna be
They're
here.
not gonna be here.
They're the rents count, they're the rent.
Well,
it's-
I don't, may I say something about?
Go ahead.
Okay, let me just say this. You do not get the same person every time you protest your taxes. I protest my taxes every year. I always get a different person. They've always been very fair. They come out to the house, I show them things that I believe are wrong. They are competent, they're fair, they want to work with people. We have gone then, after those people come, we have gone, if we can't agree, then we go in front of the entire board and we're able to state our case and state why we didn't come to an agreement. Here's what she or he thinks, here's what I think. And every year, it works out fine. The board is fair, all of the people on the board are fair. They don't care where you live, Point, Emory, East Tawakoni. They all come down. I've never had anyone who has ever been unfair or biased in any way. And the board itself is extremely professional. And in fact, the last time Harold presented, asked him if he would be a board member. So, I don't have those concerns, and I've lived here since 1968. So, I have no concerns. No, they're not gonna come here, they're not gonna come here. But they do come out, they do take pictures, they do talk to you about what happened and why. And then, if you say, okay, they say, okay, we'll send you an offer, they send you the offer. If you don't like the offer, you say, I wanna go in front of the board. But most of the time, their offer is very fair. And I haven't had any issues, we've only gone to the board 3 times. And all of the board members were fair. I don't know where they're from, I don't know which city they live in, and I really don't care. I want them to be fair, and they always are. That's all I gotta say.
I will say the times I've gone before them, they've worked with me and.
They do, I mean, to me, they're excellent. We could not be more blessed to have a better appraisal. We could live in
I know, I have
Dallas or somewhere.
Hoffman County.
A very better experience with them than with Hunt County.
Absolutely.
Hunt County.
Yes, can't, and, you know, I hate to say it, it's gonna be on camera, but Hunt County people are they don't like it. I mean, they protested and walked out, and so I feel very blessed that we have the people we do.
In Hunt
I
County,
appreciate
did
your
they
testimony.
elect theirs, knowing who the people were? How did they end up with a bad board in Hunt County?
I have no idea.
She's right. I have land that's in Rains and Hunt County, and Rains deals with me much more fairly than Hunt County does.
Yeah.
Rains does a good job of trying to keep our taxes down. It's a good board, I'm sure.
It is a good.
And we're not gonna see them. They're not gonna come. So just split the votes and do what you want, but you need to do something.
But on the appraisals, aren't they under some constraints? I think they're under some constraints where you're talking about, you know, we all had big increases in our taxes, but they're under constraints from the states, or they get fined. If they don't appraise us yes, they do, because Hunt County got a huge fine, we got a fine. I believe that, Rains County got a fine. A $500,000 fine
Taxes are up all over Texas.
for not having our property appraised lower than what they say that it should have been. So they are under some constraints.
I mean, there's always constraints for everything, but, the matter of what it is and who it's benefiting always comes to play. I mean, for me, I feel like, honestly, anyone, if they're being represented, they want to be elected and they can't be present, I mean, I feel like that is huge. For me personally, I feel like that's huge.
All right, council, what do y'all want to do with this?
Is there a reason why they said they couldn't be here, or they're just not
They never
gonna be
do
present?
come.
They
They
just
never
wanna
do come.
they just wanna select them and
Have
not
they
be
ever been
here?
asked to come?
Well, were they invited?
No.
That's the big question. They've probably never been invited.
So they just,
Just assume they're gonna get it voted in. Table it, invite them. If they don't come, then put them off.
I mean, yeah, personally, I can't vote someone that can't even represent themselves.
Make a
And
motion to table.
especially appraisal, and I mean, I'm a real estate business major, and I'm not gonna get into anything, I'm from California, but I'm just like, I know what I see, I'm not gonna express everything that's going on, but there's a lot to be had here, and for someone that can't even stand here and represent themselves to justify what is going on, I can't vote for someone like that.
We'll make a motion to table it.
Yeah, so I
What you
mean,
have to do.
I'm not gonna vote, so I table it, if they can come here and, then I can vote.
You have to make a motion if you want to table it.
Motion to table, and I suggest that we invite them so that they have an opportunity to come here and represent themselves.
I'll second it.
So when's the deadline on when we have to vote by?
Tonight.
And what happens if we don't vote on it? What
It
is
could
the?
throw us into an election.
Right.
An election,
For
so we
what?
would
Election
pay
for what?
$8,000
Yep.
because we didn't vote for this person, and they're probably gonna get in anyway.
Yes.
So.
Who's the person?
There's three.
It's 5 people, 3 or 5,
So
something.
just pick one off the
So
list.
you're saying there's 3 or 4 and we vote on one, or we just vote all of them?
So there's actually
We can go
4.
either way.
You pick a name off the list, basically?
Because they have the chairman, they have the vice chair, and then they have the secretary, so there's 3 there.
Who are the names? Can you read the names?
Ken Player is actually the chairman. Secretary would be Alice Wenzel. Go ahead. And Mickey Cooper and Todd Moore.
Does it say if they're Republican or Democrat?
Don't
I like
be
Republicans, I'm sorry.
judgmental.
We're a general law city, you're not supposed to use those terms in the city council.
Yeah, I know Alice Wenzel and Mickey Cooper have been on the board for a while.
I know Mickey Cooper.
But I feel like the big question is like, do they even know that they should be here
He's
to
a
represent
judge.
themselves?
Yeah.
No, they've never had to do it.
They've never have. It's never happened before.
Okay, so here's the deal, if these people are not voted on, or they're voted out, there's nobody else to stand up that wants their position, correct?
Right.
They're running unopposed.
They're basically our representatives, they represent us. They represent us to keep the county fair, so that's why they're there, so.
Against them to.
So you got a motion and a second to table?
As of right, we just haven't done the roll, I don't know, I did, sorry, there's too much.
I heard- I know.
I was like, there's too much.
I heard the motion, I thought I heard
Tammy
Tammy.
made the motion, Tammy seconded. Terry Rose? No. Tammy Garner?
I mean, I go with my second.
So you're in favor to table it?
Correct.
Janet Andridge?
So if we table it and they come and talk to us, you don't like what they say, but they're still gonna be in
Yeah.
because there's nobody to run.
Yeah,
And then
that's-
it costs the
against
city
them. And so it
$10,000.
cost us thousands of dollars.
$8,000.
Whatever y'all do, that's
$10,000.
awesome. So I do not think we should table it because nothing's going to change. These people are, whether we decide or not, they're still
They're still
gonna
gonna
be
be
here.
there.
Yeah,
And it will not cost the city thousands of dollars.
$8,000.
Nastasia Raffiano?
So if we find someone that wants to come in and represent the people on the appraisal district,
What's your vote?
Just up to the.
What's your vote?
To approve them, I deny. To approve them.
So you are in favor of tabling the motion?
I'm in favor to table them.
Rob?
No pressure, huh?
Go once, go twice.
Abstain.
So I'm gonna vote no to table as well. And the reason I'm doing that is looking at the entities here, I mean, it looks like there's a total of 5,000 votes across the county, and we have 98 of them. So, I mean, I really don't.
98 to what?
98.
The city of East Tawakoni counts for 98 votes out of 5,000.
Oh, you're saying 98 out of 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't matter either way.
And so I don't see that it- what we
doesn't
do or
matter.
don't do is gonna affect the overall outcome at all,
It's
so,
still gonna be the same.
yeah.
It's just whether or not.
We're
the fines.
We're the redheaded stepchild of the county, okay? 98 votes is
Motion
nothing.
failed.
We don't have to.
So the
Motion
motion
failed.
failed, hang on, so the motion failed, so now I have a motion by Terry to split the votes. Does anybody second to split the votes?
I'll second that.
Holy cow.
We haven't finished?
Okay, going again, ready?
Okay, we have a new motion to split the votes. Terry has made the motion, Rob has seconded the motion. Hold on, I'm right past your things. I mean, right slow. Okay, we have a motion to split. Terry made the motion, Rob seconded the motion. Terry Rose?
Yes.
Tammy Garner?
Yes.
Janet Andridge?
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano?
Oppose.
And Robert Thompson.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 98 votes. How are we splitting those votes?
Evenly.
Evenly between the four?
Can I ask a question? How often are they running for this position?
I think they do it yearly because,
No.
most places and most committees, split their, so everybody doesn't come up for vote at the same time like we do. So usually it's 3 and 3 or 4 and 4.
It says a 2-year term.
2-year term.
Yeah, but
They could be
next year, the
staggered.
other 3 will be up.
Gotcha.
They could be staggered.
So that's maybe why the vice chairman's not good.
Maybe. Okay, next, we good? Everybody caught up? Everybody happy? Okay. Discuss and take action on rezoning of the location on 1-1 Oak Leaf Trail. So this did go in front of the Planning and Zoning Committee. And there is notice there of this and their decision.
Where are they zoning it from and to?
They're zoning it, I was getting there. They're zoning it
Sorry.
from residential to commercial.
Where is it?
TJ's behind.
The behind TJ's?
Between the library and TJ?
Yes. I didn't look at my head.
What do they want to put there?
It's Snell's property.
I can
Who asked
answer
question? I'm
that.
sorry. Go back. I didn't hear you. Sorry.
What are they wanting to put there?
They're wanting to put the AT&T tower there.
Have you checked with, the helicopters? Because our landing
That's
zones
why
are-
we basically, yeah, so that's, yeah, so that's why they
That's why
denied
they-
part of that and then also part of some other issues too, so they denied it. So we brought it to city council, so we think city council now needs to vote, because I was thinking they did land at one point in time. I didn't know if they still did.
That's still our,
okay.
that's our landing
Okay,
zone.
that's what I thought they did, so yes.
Oh, and a tower in our neighborhood?
So can you
Okay,
explain
wait for that. That's another
everything
subject.
that
Okay.
was?
We're coming to that, hold on.
Good God.
So we can, are y'all gonna give us a report on y'all's reasoning and stuff? Online?
You got
Okay,
it.
you got it.
It's in your phone.
It's in your.
Okay, so that's all.
the reason,
Okay.
You have all of our information.
Who's?
Yes.
Huh? Yeah, can.
Questions? No, okay.
No. Look at this.
So, where do the helicopters come in and out of?
Between TJ's and the library?
That's where they land,
Yes, you were,
if it's careful,
is where all the red balls up are on the
Yep.
power lines?
Yep.
That's the landing area.
Well, they've
Thank you.
been using the larger part, but something, yeah, but this will still, this area here will impact it heavily. With the helicopter coming in and out. And the helicopter will impact that tower.
That's the only place we have to ever set
Yeah, we've been landing helicopters there for 20 years.
But yeah, we use both fields depending on how much it is.
Who's listed as the owner, Mayor?
Let me go back to third, hang on. Does it say it? Oh, hello.
Yep.
You're not gonna make me say that, are you?
What?
Is it Sunil?
Is it Sunil?
It's SUVAGIA.
It's the last name.
It's the last name,
Savaja.
Savaja. I was like, y'all are not gonna make me say that, are
What's
you?
her first name?
Bahart?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that right? Is that you've been doing Bahart? Okay, yeah, Bahart. Cause that's not who owns.
That's not who owns it.
That's not the same guy that owns the TJ's.
That's what I was
No,
thinking.
he sold TJ's, but he still owns the sliver
So,
property.
okay, so he owns a
Okay.
sliver.
Oh, it's
Okay.
the, okay.
It's the other guy that used to own TJ's probably, is
yeah.
what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Creepy dude.
He kept it to bank on the tower being there.
That too.
Probably to get paid.
Okay.
Yep,
There's a
good
12-inch water main that runs behind it.
All them little blue markers down here behind her, that's all water line.
Okay. So do I have a motion by anybody?
I make a motion to not change from residential.
I second.
Isn't there land further up 276 I could go?
Hold your horse.
Hold your horse here.
Sorry.
All right, Terry Rose.
They see that they're talking about it right here.
Deny it.
Denied. Tammy Garner. Janet Andridge. Anastasia Rapiano.
Yes.
And Robert Thompson.
Yes.
If that was me, I would have been kicked out already, buddy.
Keep
True
on
story.
talking, Dave.
True story.
Still time.
Discuss and take action on rezoning of location on 9200 Highway 276. It is in your packet and the owner is sitting right there. If y'all have any questions for him.
You want them tower?
I do have 2 pieces of property that the tower would fit on.
Anybody have any questions on this or?
John, if you wouldn't mind just explaining like what you plan to do with the property?
I own American Windows of DFW, and I have an office and warehouse showroom in Fort Worth. And I plan on moving it out here when I move out here. And so as you can see, the front of the building, I've already kind of started dressing it up a little bit. It looked like a dump, and it still sort of does, but I will get it better. And it's gonna be my office / showroom for out here.
Is there a reason why, you chose that opposed to something that's already zoned commercial?
The property across the street from it I own as well, it's Baja Boat Storage. It is commercial, and I planned on using that over there for my office at American Windows as well. When I bought that property came with it, and it's on the highway. It'd be good for my vision of what I plan on doing with both pieces of property.
It is 276 frontage.
Yes.
We need as much commercial over there
It's
as we
all
can get.
commercial already.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's not like residential.
It's right across the street from
It's
Dodge
right in front of, yeah,
Right
it's
across
all
the street from
commercial
Dodge
there.
That'd still be a big eyesore for a tower though.
No, he isn't for the tower.
This is not.
This is, he's wanting to make new.
I own the property that joins us.
Your husband.
What does he drive?
I don't know.
What car is that?
None, that's not his, that's mine, that's mine out there, thanks.
Okay, do I have a motion for this?
I'm not putting water to the
Motion to
tower.
approve.
They need it.
Sorry, he did the second.
Terry can't be here.
No. A motion to approve it to change to commercial. Have a motion by Anastasia, second by Terry Rose,
Yes.
Kimmy Garner, Janet Andrich, Anastasia Raffiano, Robert Thompson.
Thank you.
Y'all ready? Discuss and take action on the Jacobs to do a cell tower on the city property on 276. So that is basically, if you look at your map, so 4862 is actually going to be the library area. The lot that's kind of over there in the corner, they have asked to put a cell tower. I'm gonna let him speak on that and kind of what that entails, kind of like you did with the planning and zoning committee the other night.
Okay. Yeah, I can actually answer a lot of questions more than anything. A lot of people want answers to questions. You've seen cell towers everywhere, and I'm assuming, I hate to ask this question because somebody's going to embarrass themselves by saying that they don't have a cell phone. Is there anybody without a cell phone here? Okay, so you've seen cell towers up and down all of the roads, right? That's what you're going to see. It's a standalone tower. It's going to be 180 foot tall. There's no wires. There's nothing attached to it, and it's going to be enclosed in a 100 by 100 compound with a fence and then barbed wire going up, gravel road going into it, and
In a hut?
no, all the equipment's outdoor. No. Where does she have it? Is that 276?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
So,
essentially-
wait, is it the actual city property that the city owns?
Yes.
Are we leasing it to him?
Yes, we'll get to that too.
Yeah, it would be a property, it would be a monthly lease for $12,000 a year, plus a 5-year increase of 8% every 5 years.
Can you enter from 276?
We can enter from really anywhere that makes sense for everybody. We don't want to take up a lot of land, but at the same time, we don't want to build a
But
200.
this is still kind of on the same lot, because we have TJ's, the library, and y'all were wanting here,
Yeah.
but now you're essentially just wanting
No,
here.
it's the other
Yes,
corner.
that's basically yes.
It's the other corner back towards the woods, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's butted up to the wood.
It's not a.
If
No, I
y'all,
know.
if you vote yes, we can keep the heavy trucks off of our main roads. Like make them come in for
There's not any.
276 to keep the heavy trucks off of our asphalt roads. Cause I've noticed a ton of very heavy trucks running up and down in front of my house, and the road's getting worse.
We used to have a limit. Truck
Terry?
drivers.
Is this
I'm
the-
just curious, do you,
Where they were along the tower before?
so to speak, piggyback off one of the
Straight
major
out the back door.
telecommunications
Wait. Can we have one conversation, please? And
Sorry,
I'll keep
like
track
the
of one.
major
This
communication?
is AT&T Wireless.
Okay.
I just
So it is-
represent them.
Oh, I see, okay.
Who?
Thank you
Which
for
one?
clarifying.
AT&T.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying.
So that everybody knows, I'm not here because AT&T just wanted to throw up a tower somewhere. This the citizens of East Tawakoni who called AT&T and complained. So over the last 2 to 3 years, they received over, I can't remember what the baseline is, but it went over the baseline of complaints that their AT&T phones didn't work anymore, and they left AT&T to go to Verizon and T-Mobile, whoever else. So now AT&T is finally taking action to bring a cell tower in this area.
That's a brilliant point. Can you tell us how far the reach for that tower will be? Like, let's just say west, because there are dead zones down 276.
Sure. So reach is a lot less important than capacity is. Capacity is what is hurting out here because we're in East Texas. Pine trees are like a sponge for cell towers. So, and it's not only that, it's the amount of people who are using their phones for 15 other things rather than just making a phone call means that that tower needs more capacity. So it'll reach 3 to 6 miles either way, and really in all directions. But what happens is, you're streaming Netflix or looking at Google or doing, all the other things you do besides taking a phone call, and that eats up most of the space on that tower. So that's basically what's happening now, and people are, the 55,000 people that, drive through here every day are dropping calls right here. I mean, I looked at my phone and it doesn't work here.
Right.
We have a cell phone repeater. It's a matter of how many bars you get. We use
Right.
1 bar at the house usually, and then any kind of weather. So heck yeah, I'll build that tower, man. we need some bars.
You can take the positive out of it. We're getting money to the city too.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that kind of goes back to my question. So, essentially, I'm wondering, are we paying you or are you paying us?
We're paying.
They're leasing it.
So to try to make it as simple as possible, there's not a dime that will come out of your pocket.
Okay.
Any taxes assessed on the 100 by 100, AT&T will also pay that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they will pay you a monthly rate of $1,000, and then increase that monthly rate every 5 years, another 8%.
Oh, Robin.
How many years are we talking about?
55.
55-year contract?
55 years.
Robin, go ahead.
Okay, so being on the planning and zoning, and we were here with the meeting with you, and I believe
When you kicked me out of here?
Exactly, no. I believe that you said it could be on the rental part, it could be anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200. So is that $1,000 negotiable up to the $1,200?
So you can always ask for everything you want.
Well, but that's, I'm quoting you.
Yeah, well, what the other part of that you missed, she heard the 1,200 and she went, I didn't hear anything else he said. The other part you missed is that you can ask for anything you want. What I'm telling you right now is that I'm authorized to offer $1,000 a month. You want, $1,200, then, whoever your rep is sends me an email and says, hey, says, hey, Brant, we believe as a city we want this amount. Now, the chance you take is they go back and go, okay, will they take this instead of this? Or they say,
we'll go somewhere else.
Well, how many other candidates did you give us? And in this case, there's a lot of candidates here. So I don't think it's, out of the question. So if there's something you want to send back to me, I'll try to get the approval. Mayor, I'm going to let you pick who.
Okay, Jeff, go ahead.
The road to the tower, you gonna rock the road?
Yes, sir. It'll be a gravel road.
Y'all gonna maintain it?
We'll maintain it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
will it come, go ahead, sorry. And like they were asking, is it going to be coming off of 276, the road, instead of coming into our neighborhood?
Probably be better.
It would be
Yeah,
better.
well, I guess what we need to do is really look at that, because if we bring a gravel road in all the way in off 276, is that going to mess up any future development you guys have on that?
Yep.
It's nothing but woods over there.
Not if you stay close to the
Not
woods.
staying close, so if we stay close to the property line,
The
we
second
can do
thing,
it
the only
that
time
way.
we can even bring heavy trucks in. The only time heavy trucks are gonna come in here, like 70,000 pounds, would be for
During
the actual
construction.
erection of, the construction of the tower. And then after that, it's gonna be a 1 ton or 3/4 ton, Technic truck coming into.
And there's already gravel there in some spots, so we could look at that once we get it, if we get it approved, then we could look at exactly.
Yeah, I
where.
just don't wanna make an access over there and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, we just had a big offer to
sell all this land, and then you're like, well, we have.
We're not allowed to sell it, we have to auction it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's government
So the
property.
goal would be, as I understand, kind of a yearly plan, if the council has not worked this out, would be that I think that they have talked about moving the city complexes up there and probably maybe, I think the impound lot at one time, somebody had said something, I don't know, it had been
But
said.
I do have a question. Where are they gonna put it?
I'm sorry, Rick, pass it to Rick.
And then also too, are y'all gonna have cameras out there?
More than likely, they usually have security cameras going 24/7.
So we've had a lot of problems with the
Yeah.
ones out on 15
Right.
and 30. They go in, cut the fence, and take the copper.
Well, the good thing is there's no longer copper.
Fiber
No
now.
copper.
It's all fiber.
It's all fiber.
Yeah, we're done with copper, thank goodness.
How much power though up there at top?
240?
So that's
Okay.
copper.
Yes, sir, now ask your question.
Is it gonna mess up Verizon?
No. No, so the FCC requires all of the different carriers to have different frequencies.
Okay.
So you can, if Verizon's here, T-Mobile's here, and AT&T's here, they don't speak the same language.
Okay.
So
Is it no-way stuff up there?
I'm just curious.
it's 17 to 1900.
Is it wall-way technology?
I'm sorry?
Is it wall-way?
No, well, I don't even think we're dealing with China anymore.
Okay.
I really don't. So I believe it's gonna be Ericsson or Nokia.
We're gonna need to see John Stanky show up.
Mayor, I'm gonna let you keep.
Okay, Officer Hall.
Is it gonna be FirstNet as well, or just strictly AT&T?
Range County is FirstNet customer, so FirstNet will be on that tower.
That's all.
Hopefully that'll help y'all to your dead zone.
So anytime a 911 call comes in off of that tower, it will drop everyone else to service that 911 call.
I think that's better, sorry, I'm having
Yeah,
issues saying.
I'm just really concerned about where the road would be. I would like to keep it proximal to the tower and not cut through where we might
No,
wanna
we'll keep
build
it as
later.
close as we can, we'll
Yeah,
get down
that
to
would be my
yeah.
concern.
Yeah, whatever makes most sense.
Yeah, we'll look at that and decide what, and you'll work with engineers and stuff like that.
I say,
Okay.
Dawn, you need to just stand
Stand
up.
up, Dawn.
I was like, wait my
There
turn.
you go, because Swaggy's right in front of you. Sorry.
Still my concern about the tower being there with helicopters landing, because we
Well, we're
have,
back up into those trees though.
but you need to check with the helicopter company to see if they can land there with that tower there.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I'm
the
not against
helicopter
the tower.
companies will be registered with the FAA.
Right.
We have to go through the FAA before we can do anything.
Because
So
that's
if
our
the
only
FAA
lane.
says, sorry, you've got to go down to 80 feet, then that's what it is.
Okay.
So in the end, the FAA will tell us, sorry,
This is an emergency landing, this is not a typical landing.
correct, but but that helicopter will have communication with the FAA. I mean, that site has to be registered with the FAA. So we'll know all flights coming in, and the FAA will say whether it's one time every 10 years.
It would still give us at least 100 clearance from the fence, which is the furthest part out. So
That's like
still
6 or
within
7 acres.
How close is the one
It's
behind?
like 6 or 7 acres.
Huh?
How close is the one behind?
If a helicopter pilot can't hit that target, we got
Is there
issues.
anything of, if we wanted to build up the proximity of, you can't come within a certain amount of distance within, I guess, whatever tower we're gonna be
So it'll be out
erecting
of the
with
way.
this?
It's pretty much gonna be
sure.
out
Like,
of the way.
like if you have a tower, are you saying we can't build within like
I know.
300 feet?
And it will give
It
us
doesn't matter,
We just want the 100 by 100.
and that's
Do
it?
anything you want outside of
So
that.
there's no regulation where we can't build?
Oh, he's doing it.
Yeah.
Water, the water cooler. Water cooler.
Let's do it. Motion this.
Sorry, it's hot. Okay. Do
Motion.
I have a motion
Motion to
to?
approve.
Okay,
That being said, I am going to.
please go, you have a drive.
We have a long drive. Thank you very much. If y'all have any more questions,
Yes, I
just send it to the
can't
mayor. I'm glad
I
to
drive
answer.
15 hours a week for work.
There you go. I got you by
Hi,
about
guys.
32.
Enjoy this, I wanna buy
Yeah.
a home here just so I can be part of this.
I'm really not kidding.
This is too many people.
Y'all,
Before you
nice
came,
to
the
nice
fire
to meet
department
you.
came out first. I know, that's what I said before you came.
Thank y'all for coming, I appreciate y'all.
Y'all have a great evening.
We have a motion to approve placing the cell tower on city properties. I have, Nastasia made the motion, Cammy seconded, Terry. Timmy Dorner.
Yes.
Janet Andridge. Nastasia Raffiano. Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Y'all just voted aye for it. We all.
Control your husband's voice.
But at least it's back in the corner. by
That's
the
why it's back there by the
And
woods.
not right
He
up
said
the
he just wants himself on board.
Review and take action to approve or deny recommendation of the officers. Y'all ready? John Hall, Walt Kimmel, and Jeff Swaggerty.
What is the question? I'm
So,
sorry.
Go ahead.
again,
So I'm gonna let,
I've been doing research through the city stuff, and just like the EDC and the planning and zoning, all the officers are supposed to come in front of the council for approval when they get hired. I was reviewing the minutes, I couldn't find anything on any of them where that ever happened, so
I
I
know that it
went to
has.
the chief and asked the chief.
Yes, it has. It has happened.
I've been at meetings.
I was
where-
on council.
I was here when Jeff Wagnerty was voted on, I was
Yep.
here when John was voted on, I sat out, matter of fact, David Rose was on the council, because I sat out
Yeah,
there
I
next to
sat
Regina.
next to
when it
Nathan.
So, once again, I've looked at all the minutes from January of 2018 to the present,
Where
and I can't find any record of it happening in the minutes. So I'm not saying it didn't happen, I'm just telling you that it's not in the minutes of the city council.
I'm getting really curious to why all the police stuff is showing up this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why do we just approve the EDC and the planning and zoning? Because we're trying to get in accordance with our own.
That's not her question. That's not what she
I'm
asked.
saying
She's
that it was
asking
done.
why are we having to do it again?
I understand what you're saying, Terry. I'm telling you that I have not been able to find it in any of the minutes from
So you
January of
bring it up to date?
2018 to the present.
Bring it up to date, I feel like that's.
Where are the minutes though?
So I went to the chief and I told him I wasn't able to find it. I asked him just to present the officers so we could do it as to make sure that it was accomplished, because there's no record of it anywhere. If you can find me a record of it, we won't do it.
I understand the record not being there is the problem.
Right.
Any records not being there is a problem.
yeah, you can do it.
And that's not the first time we've had records that everybody knows the council did something and then there's no record of it. So yes, I understand your concern.
Who's in control of the minutes?
City Secretary.
City secretary. Now, once again, there's minutes for every month, with the exception of a couple when there wasn't a meeting. And so it's not that the minutes aren't there, it's that it's not in the minutes
It
that they.
wasn't recorded
It wasn't
correctly.
recorded.
Well, so again, I haven't been able to find it in the agenda or the minutes that it ever happened, so. You know, I don't know whether they voted on it or not, I'm just telling you that there's no record of it. I just asked the chief
So
to
if we
present
need
the
to
offers
take
so we can have a record
executive
of it.
session, I feel like it's up to the mayor if we feel like we need to.
I don't think we do. I mean, we can, if y'all do not feel like y'all can do this in front of the citizens, then we can take this off record, or we can do it now. It's up to y'all how y'all wanna handle this.
I mean, it's just to have it on record to where if it goes, somebody goes back in the future,
Yeah.
then there, it's.
This should be
it's
just a
not that it's
rubber
changing
stamp thing. I don't
Yeah.
understand. I mean, I understand Terry's concern about record
I do
keeping.
too. And I mean, it wasn't
But-
done, it's not there, unfortunately. We've all gone through the records and look, we
Right.
cannot find it. So we're just trying to make sure that we are, as Rob has said, that we are compliant, just as we did with planning and zoning. And we've done with
Exactly.
the
And if
other
we haven't
cities.
been clear to you and the council that these are the officers we want in this town, then somebody's not paying attention. So let's just
I have a
approve them
motion
and get it
to
over with and
approve
move
the
on.
recommendation from Chief Saddle
Make a motion.
by Tammy and a second from Terry. Terry Rose,
Yes.
Tammy Garner,
Yes.
Jenna Dandridge,
Yes.
Nastasia Raffiano,
Yes.
and Robert Thompson.
Yes. God, it was a lot more difficult than it should have
I
been.
know. I'm trying to do it, y'all promise.
You right?
Okay, so discuss and take action if necessary on payroll issues. Chief South had asked to speak about this.
Yeah, what myself and the officers, we've been concerned about some deals with payroll. One, I want to let Officer Swaggerty go ahead and say what he's got to say.
Okay, on the pay period ending on 6/28/2023, I was overpaid, 16 hours. Vacation, I was actually paid twice in that same pay period for that. Brought it to the chief's attention. And my next check, as you can see, I got this letter that let them know that it'd be taken out of my check, which was fine, that was great. Then on July the 10th, I was served with a official misconduct notice for misstated and falsified timesheets. On find this latest one. On the 29th of October, I was overpaid again, 24 hours, same thing. Brought it to Chief South's attention. And then, but on the agenda for October, I was to be on there, and I believe we didn't have a quorum.
That's correct.
For timekeeping practices. My question is, who's checking whose work here? There's 2 signatures on that paycheck. Who's checking whose work? Because you're accusing me of one thing, but then you're turning around and overpaying me.
That's part of the reason we wanted everybody to go to the, and we've got copies and we got the council, we wanted everybody to go to the time clock. Is so that way it's a little bit clearer because.
We do a time clock.
I guess my
But-
question is why it didn't come to city council? Like it was on and now it's.
Okay, hold on, let's go back to, wait a minute, okay, so back to you. So I know that we've had some issues with things being, like, typed up or wrote in incorrectly, and Tammy's had to go back and forth and get those fixed.
Because they double mark their times.
So there you
They
go.
mark it here, they mark it here.
We do our time through this right here. The thing
That's
is,
what I run up against, is they've marked it 12 hours of holiday time, but they
But you
carry
provide-
over.
she
into
told
the
me that
regular
I
hours
did it
also.
wrong. Here it is right here of his, John Hall's, that she did correct. My question is, how long have you been city secretary?
3 years.
3 years. I've been doing these time sheets for 4 years, and I was doing them before I retired. Why did it take until I caught you doing 2 mistakes, you blame me?
Like I've explained to you on the time cards, you have a column for comp time earned, a column for comp time,
I've been doing
Used.
them all the same way, Tammy, for 4 years.
and you've been
And
doing them
right
wrong,
here-
and that's why I
right
continually
here
have to catch
is
your
John
mistakes.
Hall's that you did correct. And they're the same way as Jeff
It doesn't
Swagger's.
make them that
They're
you're marking,
exactly the
doesn't
same.
mean that you're marking the time cards correctly. They have a column for comp time earned, comp time used, vacation, sick, holiday, regular hours, and overtime.
See, it doesn't make a difference what you do or say, is you're wrong. This is both the same thing, and you're saying that I'm wrong when they're both the same. You did this one right, but did this one wrong.
You did both of the time cards wrong then.
No, I didn't.
And
Why did you do this one right and this
I
one wrong?
caught that mistake and I did not catch that mistake.
Okay, what about his pay, his regular pay and his vacation pay are totally different?
I don't know what you're looking at.
I'm looking at his check stub that you did.
I don't know, I've done multiple for Jeff, I don't
That's
know
John's.
which one.
John's.
That's what I'm saying, there's a problem, quit trying to blame everybody else. I'm gonna continue to do the timesheets like I've been doing for 4 years. 3 years you haven't said a word until I called 2. He caught them, brought them to me, and I brought them to you, and automatically you trying to blame me.
Look here, I'm sorry, but if there's an issue with accuracy, may I remind you that the last 5 meetings we've had are illegal due to typos and mistakes, okay?
No, that's pertinent. Okay, so.
And here's the question. He's being investigated for what he did. Who's gonna investigate this?
Amen.
Yep.
So is there anything that, so back again, that's why we put everybody on the time clocks. Are they providing you the cop sync?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Now, when did they stop providing that to you?
I would have to go back and look after the time clock meeting, yes.
As soon as y'all started doing the time clock.
Okay.
And right here is a copy. They're turned in. Anytime they put in sheets for vacation or anything, I make copies and make sure they're turned in. I have copies of everything. And the thing is, this one's correct, this one's wrong. I'm not gonna be blamed for doing what I've been doing for 4 years.
I just wanna say the reason he moves it over from vacation to regular is just for the grand total at the bottom. That's the only reason he does it. That's why he put on the timesheets. That's
I wish you
why.
had provided this to us so we could have looked at it, that way the council.
Well,
would
I
have-
tried to talk to her, but she gets all upset and then blames me. I'm not gonna sit there and argue with her when I know I'm right.
Okay, that's fine, I wish you brought it too, so that way we could have looked at it. I do apologize that you guys
It
had
does no
argued it.
good. That's why I'm bringing it before them.
Okay.
Because they are the boss of everybody.
Yeah.
And they are the ones that need to know what's going on. I am not gonna put up with no more crap.
So somebody screw up caused this officer to be investigated for no reason,
Mm-hmm.
and his life turned
So,
upside down.
I can start having the council review all your timesheets, it will probably delay your, I don't know.
They're right down there.
No, I'm just saying, and going forward for your payroll, if you want the time, if you want the council, since you said that they report to you, I'm happy to have them review your timesheets every
It's
time.
all very simple.
Instead of doing that, how
Everybody
about,
I showed
How about the person
them
overtime
to
in
said
water?
it's plain simple. All I do on that timesheet, I give all the hours of what the regular hours are. In the vacation, I show where they took the vacation. You do not have to have a degree to figure this out. I've been doing it the same way. I did it before I retired and nearly 4 years since I've been back. I was doing it for Proc too.
I'll make copies of the timesheets, guys, so that way y'all can review them and look at them, and if y'all have any questions, then we can discuss it. If y'all do that for the next meeting, so that'll work. So we can look at what he's saying, because right now, we've got, you're holding the papers, and Tammy held the papers, we just need to make sure we have it, so the council can actually look at it, review it.
And that's why you have lawsuits.
Yep. Okay.
But on mine, I was paid 50 cents less per hour when I took vacation in July.
Or his vacation time.
My regular pay.
That
rate
is regular
was-
pay.
My regular pay was at $16.91 and my vacation pay was at $16.49. For a total of 20 hours of vacation.
And this check stub's right here.
And that was
If you'll
when?
bring that to my attention.
July. Okay, did you bring that up to Tammy in
I
July?
tried. You wanna argue with me and then tell me I'm
I brought it
wrong.
up to him, he brought it there.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand where it went. Okay, perfect, thank y'all. Next would be discuss and take action to sign off on the plot. So guys, the maps, y'all guys need to sign those before you leave today.
Madam Mayor, do we need to
Oh,
take a
hello.
motion to table that, so we
Sorry.
can get
Yes,
information to
please.
actually look
Sorry.
at and see? I
Yes,
mean,
sorry.
I understand what y'all are telling me, but I'm a
somebody
numbers
needs to
guy,
take
I gotta see the
secretary's
numbers to
notes.
see what's going on.
Your secretary just left, so somebody needs to take the notes.
Well, wait a minute, yeah, she's gonna go get that map.
Right, she's gonna be on the same secretary.
That'd be nice.
No, the police department's different, because that's what's over in my office. You can go. I don't.
This is just a plat that we previously
Hey,
approved.
we need to make a motion on that one for the police department. To table it.
so they can look at the timesheets and look at the process and.
Yep, that's what.
A motion to table?
Uh-huh.
Anybody gonna give a motion to table?
Motion to table.
Second it.
Terry Rose? Yes. Tammy Garner?
Yes.
Janet Andridge?
Yes.
Nastasia Graziano? And Robert Thompson.
Yes.
Will Officer Halls be addressed at that time also? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel reimbursement needs to be.
I agree.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah, as soon
Needs to
as
be
somebody
reimbursed.
brings me something on that, I will get Officer Hall paid.
And again, on the time clock thing, at 2 o'clock in the morning, if Officer Hall has to go talk about another suicidal person, do you want him calling you at 2 o'clock in the morning for permission to go get overtime?
He doesn't have to, he can actually do it. We actually resolved that issue when we had that meeting in June, I believe. Okay, next
They
is
don't have.
discuss and take action to sign off on plot, so you guys need to make sure you do that. I believe Tammy's getting them ready for us right now.
They're ready as they walk by.
Okay. Next would be council comments. Does anybody have any comments?
I do.
Okay,
Take those. Everybody take one.
pass it down.
Pass it down.
Got it.
Give myself and the rest of us out.
Thank you.
No. So, in the 2.5 years I was on the council before this council was set, I don't recall ever having a meeting canceled because lack of quorum. We've had 2 of them in the 6 months we've been on here. Maybe even 6 or 7 months, whatever it's been. So I just went back and did a little spreadsheet here to show the other council members, and I'm not going to disclose to everybody who missed what or whatever, but other than that, I'll tell you, I missed 2 regular meetings. And I just want to encourage myself and the rest of the council to try and do a better job of getting to the meeting so we don't have to cancel them for lack of a quorum. I mean, we only need 3 of us here to have a meeting. And
Question.
sir,
There used to be a policy, and I don't know if it's a municipal policy or if it was our own policy, that if a council member missed more than 3 meetings, then
Three regular meetings in a row, then they can be asked to be, they can be.
it has to be in a row.
It has to be in a row.
Okay, I thought it was per term.
I thought it was like cumulative.
No, I checked before we
Okay.
put this together, yeah.
that's the Texas state statute.
That's a state requirement, okay? And so are you guys able to enforce, put a little bit more teeth into that statute and say that you have to at least attend so many meetings per year or something? I mean, and I hate to do that because we have council people that work during this time period, so, yeah, she's nodding. So, you know, work comes before volunteer stuff, so.
Because the regular meetings, the ones that are all in bold. The 2 red meetings
We
are,
have one on July
So when you
18th,
said
so how did I miss
regular
it?
and then special, I mean, you have, I mean, for me, 4 and 3, there's no way I missed 7 meetings. So you're saying 3 of those regular meetings are special meetings? Because there's no way, I did not miss 7 meetings. I missed 3 meetings total, so I don't even know where that 4 comes from.
so again, I went back to my notes and I went back to the minutes from the meetings and.
But I'm just saying, if you're looking regular and special, these are.
You looked back till May, Robert?
Yeah, this is
Till
starting
this
with the
May.
May meeting.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I did not miss 7 meetings not even close. I missed 4 total between special and regular.
With all due respect, I disagree because my notes and the minutes from those meetings show that you weren't at them, so. We can sit down and look at them together if you'd like.
Yeah, we can, I'm just saying, I didn't miss 7.
Could the minutes be wrong?
There's no-
Yeah.
Well,
Everybody else is wrong.
May, June, July, August, September, October. Hey, Robert, you may have a leg to stand on because since May, there's only been 7 meetings, so.
I
Well,
missed 7
yeah, we
meetings.
have
There's no
to
way I've missed 7 meetings. There's
Special
no way
meetings
at
too.
all.
Right.
So the-
Special meetings.
I've got all the regular council meetings and the special
And
meetings
specials.
we've had, and I'm showing that she's missed 7 of those meetings altogether, not 7 of the regular meetings.
No, but I'm just saying, that's not true.
What
I know
about the
for a
one
fact
Terry-
that's not
So,
true.
So,
I think
But you weren't naming names, though.
July 18th,
she's the one that said she didn't miss 7 meetings.
I know for a fact, 100%.
Once she said it, I felt free to
I
say
bet
it.
$1 billion on that, I don't miss 7 meetings. $1 billion.
I think it's due to like a quorum, I think we all, except for me.
there was not a meeting on July 18th.
So I took a little liberty with that one because I wasn't here for that one, and I knew we didn't have a meeting, and so I knew there wasn't a quorum, and I didn't know who it was or wasn't here, and obviously there wasn't any minutes to go by, so.
Right, because it wasn't in the meeting. It's there then.
And also.
Well, there
Shouldn't
wasn't a
anybody
meeting,
miss
my
it?
understanding, there wasn't a meeting because we couldn't get 3 council people in the room to have a meeting in
Because
July.
I was called and told that it was canceled, so I missed a meeting because I was called and told it was canceled.
That's not like
Okay.
saying, Terry.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I
you're
didn't
right,
miss
that's
a
exactly,
meeting. I have not missed a meeting.
hey, let me explain.
No.
But I'm just saying, these numbers aren't accurate, that's all.
So, on the July meeting, I didn't have any records or anything to do it, so I just counted the meeting. I'm sorry if that wasn't accurate. I didn't know for sure what happened there. I knew that, what I was told is we didn't have a quorum, and so we didn't have a meeting.
So the mayor was the only one here in July.
I'm just saying, I haven't missed
See
more
what I'm
than
saying?
4 meetings.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and, you know,
Well, how was the mayor here if it wasn't a meeting?
Right, that's what I'm asking.
all right. That's why I only gave it to y'all, and I'm sorry if I didn't get July right.
So,
I didn't know why the meeting was canceled. I just knew that 2 of us were out of town, and the other 3 weren't able to be here, so I didn't know who was and who wasn't able to be here.
Yeah.
And so,
Wasn't one of them canceled because an attorney or something didn't show up?
Yeah, there's.
I was heard of it.
I got texted emails.
You should have been here, Robert.
Yeah, I did. I'm just saying.
The meeting was
So,
canceled.
and on that note, Terry's been the only one that's been very good about being to all the meetings, so.
Well, no, I mean, I was just curious.
The meeting
So,
was
like I said, I took a little liberty with the July meeting because I didn't have any records of it and stuff, and so I didn't know who to put.
Kinda odd.
Well,
that
it wasn't
July
available.
dates that are
I
not
just knew there
right.
wasn't a meeting.
With all due respect, I do think the mayor reaches out to everyone to make sure that she's gonna have enough people in town for the meetings, and then last month's meeting that got canceled due
Well,
to
I
lack
was
of quorum
actually
was an
gonna
accident.
suggest that we maybe have a Google Doc or something if we know ahead of time that people can't be there or they won't be there, then we don't have to schedule, because I just remember
Don't
in
you
the
call
past,
them or
I
something?
canceled whole vacation going back home for me just to be here, and then the meeting was canceled, which I understand that happens, but I'm just saying if we had a means of having a Google Doc where people are like, I might not be here or I won't be here for sure, then we
So,
know and we can
What
schedule.
normally happens is, everybody has my number. If you don't, you need to let me know. But I believe everybody has my number on the council. They all have Tammy's number. They will call or text me and say, hey, look, I can't come, I have vacation. I have Rob's vacation, I think until the middle of next year, God love it. I kind of know Tammy's a little bit too, and I know kind of what, everybody emails me or will call me or text me and say, hey, look, I can't come. I mean, I can't help it if somebody has a, God forbid, a medical emergency that happens, because we do have one that is on call currently on our city council, and that's, I think, what happened in July. You had a medical emergency with one of your patients. So she was not able to be here. That was a sudden, like, literally we got here and we knew it. Last month, we were under the understanding we were gonna have a quorum. I only knew at that time of one person being out.
Right, that's why I just feel like if we just had like where
We
it
can't- we have to
might
worry
not,
about a
or
walking
wouldn't, so
quorum.
I wouldn't like cancel vacation like with my family when I know that like we might not have a quorum where we could just put it the next day or two.
You understand that I, myself, I'm just saying, I'm gonna throw myself under the bus. I myself scheduled around city council meetings.
Yeah, I know you told me before we couldn't have a scheduled meeting for 2 months because of your schedule. So I understand that, and I'm not holding it against you. I'm just saying if we're all on the same page, I feel like that's beneficial for us and the community.
And it's just a comment. It's just a comment. So
No, I know that, yeah, I'm just saying, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not, like I
It's
said.
not, nobody throwing everybody under the bus or nobody's complaining, we're just saying that we'd like to, because there's a lot that happens. And I was gonna say, mayor comment, I had to, and I know I'm probably gonna get bashed for this, but I had to sign the insurance. It is on the budget, everybody, so it is on the budget. For the employees to have health insurance, I had to sign those documents because they were due on November the 17th. We weren't gonna have a city council meeting. I had to sign those documents so our employees would have health insurance. Because we had to cancel that meeting. It is an approved item. I did sign a contract. It is an approved item.
Why are you yelling at us?
I'm just making sure everybody
saying, nobody's
understands
after you.
that. Okay. So anyways, but I had to do that. So we have to get stuff done. So that's why we're trying to let everybody know these are the meetings that you've missed and stuff. Go ahead.
don't we have provisions that normal things go ahead and take place even if we don't have a
We
meeting?
used to. We are actually now a city council run city. So let's say hypothetically, we lose a water director.
We've always been a city council run.
Well,
city.
let me rephrase that. So the water director leaves, right? So what happens then is that I have to post that job out. They have to look at resumes, the city council does now, and they have to approve who they want to interview and talk to. It's never been like that before. So before, they have hired people with basically, like they've hired a water director, or they've hired employees. Now we more or less now have city council be doing that now.
But paying for their insurance should be
It is
just,
budget.
So
nobody
I have
gonna
a
yell at
question
you about
because
that.
It's in the budget.
brought it on
This
to
isn't.
city council before, but anyways, I guess, under my impression is that the trash company is the same, yet the trash company looks completely different,
They got bought
and
out.
stuff,
They got
just.
bought out.
They
They got
got
bought
just
out.
a new, It's just a new,
It got bought out.
the contract's the same then? so-
Contract is the same, we did resolve it, which I think that was 2 council meetings ago. We did resolve it, there is no trash limit. There was something that was said or something like that, that there's no, that they said that there were 6 bags.
It was 6 bags. is
6
what they
bags, and
stated.
it wasn't. And so we had a meeting with them and talked about it. I'm like, where can you show me on the contract that it says that it's 6 bags or 5 or whatever? He couldn't. I asked for a new contract, we have not received that yet. He said it's the same company, same thing, just a different name is it. There is no bag limit anymore.
You mean no limit, but do you have to pay extra if you're over?
No.
Not anymore. Does our bill is our bill reflecting extra? Cause I signed up for extra.
They should have called you on that.
They haven't,
Okay.
and my bill was really high.
So that's gone away, that extra
Yes,
for,
the extra, yes.
So you need to call.
thank
So
you, whoever
City
did that.
Secretary tomorrow and
Thank
tell
you.
her to take it off.
If I put,
Yeah, I gotta check on
they said I
that.
had one too many cans.
You
I
can't,
have a lot of kids.
I know.
I have 4 cans.
It's because you got 3 too many kids.
Hush. All of my neighbors have 1 can. All my surrounding neighbors, 1 can each.
Okay.
So if you were saying a gross number of trash they picked up for the whole neighborhood, there's no way that everybody else having 1 can and me having 4.
Just go
Put
put
us
one of
over
your
the
trash
road
cans
across
at your
the
neighbor's.
street.
Just go to David's house.
But is that
We
what I
got
have
3
to,
driveways.
is that what I
You
have
can
to
put
do?
it
Because you
in
said
each
there's no
driveway.
trash.
There's no limit. You can't put a house, let's be phrase it, so you can't demo a house and put all that debris on there and all that. If it is in a can, they should be picking it up. If you have an issue, you need to contact the trash company about that issue. That does not go to the city, it goes to the trash company.
Well, I did, and they told me the same thing.
Pretty sure I cut the check to y'all though.
Yeah,
You cut the check to us, but we basically pay for a bulk.
And
of
y'all sign a
everybody's
contract.
trash. So we pay, it's a contract, so we pay for everything, just like we do for insurance and everything else. You may pay, but we pay it to the company, is what we do.
So there's not, I should be able to put 4 cans out and they should pick it up. I should not have to walk it to my mother's house 2 doors down, or
That is
take it to
correct.
Troy's
That
house
is
or Dave's
correct.
house.
That is
That is
correct.
correct. If you
Okay.
have issues, call the trash company.
Okay.
So nobody should be paying extra now?
That is
No.
Nobody
correct.
should be.
Yes.
Can you check that, Tammy, to make sure nobody's paying extra?
Cindy?
Can I do a quick mom, but I'll have her double check your account.
Okay.
How did y'all get off of discuss and take action off to sign off on the plat?
It's just basically we're signing it.
When we walk out, we sign
We
it.
want out, we have to walk out to sign it. That's our action item, is to
Oh,
sign it.
okay.
So we approved it in a previous meeting, and then they have to go get the plat redone and bring it to
Keep up,
us.
Bobby, keep up.
I think I'll jump from one to the other.
good catch, good
Anybody
catch.
else have any, Rob, are you done?
I guess so. I really wasn't trying to make a big deal out of that. I'm just trying to ask the council members, including myself, to try and do a better job of getting to the meeting so we don't have to have one that get canceled due to lack of quorum.
Miss Sandy's numbers aren't accurate.
One small question. You literally, the dogs, the dogs running around.
Yes.
That was, you
Yes.
should have addressed that at the beginning of the meeting, sir.
I forgot, I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask.
We do not have a dog catcher.
Okay.
We do not have, Reeves County does not have the means of that either. I believe,
If I tell him, can I handle it?
tell him, there's 3, there's,
If I
So,
tell them what I'm gonna do,
I
it's
was
dog.
told
It's an issue.
that another small town, contracts with with a dog catcher, basically, an animal control that comes out.
That's
and
because
does-
they have those services in that county already.
Before anybody does anything to any dogs, you should know that killing or shooting a nuisance dog is a felony in this state, so
Not only
please
that, but we have
don't
a
do
bobcat
it.
running the neighborhood killing animals anyway, so it doesn't matter, so.
Probably just advocate for better health, pet.
I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
okay.
make sure
The
y'all get
last
the
dog
I
catcher we
have,
had
so
was
as mayor
$10.
comments, I'm moving this
That
to
was
9
Tammy.
o'clock.
No.
Mayor
Our
comments,
last
I really don't
dog
have
catcher.
anything. I think we've covered a lot. We don't need an executive session at all. And then reconvene, we talked about that. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Rob.
Second that.
Terry Rose. Tammy Garner. Janet Dandridge. Nastasia Raffiano. Nastasia.
I think I was talking about the one that killed that dog.
Yeah.
He came out to my place. He was